I want to speak to you today very briefly about the mind game of trading. Who the hell am I? I'm Bag of Dawn at StockMarketCaddy.com, June 29th, a Saturday. And on top of that, I am the dumbest guy in the room. The dumbest. I will arm wrestle you for that title. Because you see, folks, I have no freaking idea what the Federal Reserve was going to do 2 or 3 weeks ago. No idea. I have no idea what they're going to do in July. I don't know if they're going to hold. I don't know if they're going to cut 25. I don't know if they're going to cut 50. I have no idea. I have, or had, and have, no idea what the hell Donald Trump is going to do with President Xi. I don't know if he's going to cut his head off. I don't know if he's going to give him a kiss and a bow. Although I'm beginning to think that Trump, is more bark than bite. But I don't know. The thing of it is, and I will arm wrestle you for this title to be the dumbest guy in the room. Now, there are people, no question, and I'm not one of them, that manage billions and billions of dollars, pension money, and behind it are a mass of people that will vote this way and vote that way if their pocketbook or if the food on their table is challenged, as my papa used to say. So information is very, very valuable if you know in front of the masses. And it's an incestuous relationship because the person receiving the information stands to make a whole lot of money. And the person giving the information many times stands to reap a political windfall. Wall Street, Pennsylvania Avenue, the Capitol, that whole crowd, it's all one and the same. And as George Carlin used to say, it's a club. It is a club. And we ain't in it. I'm certainly not. Now, at Stock Market Caddy, we also have organized a private club. And if anyone, I was going to say, and I say this with terms of endearment, it's a private club of dummies. Right? Because none of us are on that inside track. None of us. But yet, we come into the market each and every day, each and every week, and attempt to make our bread. Now, how is it we're able to do that? What do we do? Well, the first thing is that, and I'll speak for myself, is to check my ego at the door. I'm always reluctant to express an opinion about the future, whether it be in 2 or 3 hours or 20 hours or in 2 weeks or in 2 months. Now, we're human, but there's not a lot of room for human emotion in the market. They will kill you because they are trying to manipulate those emotions. They are trying to play off of those emotions, either up or down, and they know it. And they have the information. They have the power, the influence to affect those factors, to move them one way or the other for their own agenda. They have the technology. So they have a lot of stuff. So at this point, you probably say, what the hell then? I'm done with that. I'm out of here. Okay? And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. If you just heard the first 4 minutes and you just say, hey, quit, I'm quitting that. That guy just described that. You can't do that. I'm out of here. Yeah, you can't, And you know what? We don't want anyone that, thinks that way. I mean, if you do, you do. And you know what? All the power to you. Don't bother. Don't try. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your bread. Don't bother. Because if you think this game of trading is easy, and you're going to turn, $5,000 in a futures account into $1 million in the next year. I don't think so. No, not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. Now, to break it down, I only got 5 minutes. You need to check your ego at the door. And the market is going to behave in one of these three, basically these three ways. We either have a plane ride, a submarine ride, or a roller coaster. What do I mean by that? Well, when a plane is landing, let's talk about a landing. He does something like this. Right? He's got about 200 or 300 little carton of eggs in the back, and he's trying to land that plane. Let me see if I can move this down, right? And then, and he lands it, right? So he actually makes a descent without many folks even feeling it. And he'll do the same thing, maybe taking off, maybe a little more abrupt. A submarine, and once he gets and a plane is very similar too. Once he gets a cruising altitude, it's just like that, right? A submarine, when he's parked at the surface, he's flat. And then a submarine will begin to make his descent, and he'll flatten out. And he might make another descent, and then he'll flatten out. And he may just park there. And if he's going to make an ascent, he might do something like that, right? Do I have any idea where the hell that submarine is going? Hell no. I don't know what he's up to. I can't. Can you look up into the sky and see a plane and say, hey, he's headed to New York? No, he's going to Denver? Hell no. You get a general direction, general idea. He might be heading northeast or northwest, but you don't know where the hell he's going to land or where the hell he's going to come down. A roller coaster at Busch Gardens here in Tampa these days, I mean, these things are doing, they're doing whoop-de-loops, I mean, they are just doing all kinds of moves, right? So as traders, what we need to be able to do with our technology, with our software, with our savvy, is to write programs, computer programs, that can pick up on the slightest moves. The slightest moves. And be prepared to make just a little bit of money. A little bit of money. A little bit of money. And maybe when we're flat like this, we don't trade at all. And when we're over here, we capture this little move and this little move. We make a little bit more money. And then we don't trade. Make a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. And when you have a market like this, the roller coaster, you need your software to be able to pick up on these type of crazy moves, okay, to capture portions of the movement without any consideration of the Federal Reserve, of President Xi, President Trump, Wall Street, CNBC. If it's not Xi, it's an earnings call, it's this, it's that, it's that, it's this. I sound like Rosanna Danaher, remember? There's always something, Jane. It's always something. It'll be that little bead of sweat hanging off your nose, It's always something. It is always something. And if you're rational, and you're trying to figure out what that little something is, to place that one trade, you're crazy. It's not worth it. It just isn't. So what we discipline ourselves to do, is to park our rational brain to the side. And when we're out of the market, we spend our time, our rational brain, writing software to do what? To track price. That's it, baby. to track the price. We could have used anything, a plane, a submarine, a roller coaster. We could have used a rocket. Whatever it is, it tracks. And what we need to do is get that portion of the move. You might think of it as the THAAD system. They will shoot a bullet at a certain trajectory to knock down a missile, God forbid, not aimed at us, aimed someplace else, and hit that missile or come close enough to knock it down. May not actually hit it, but set off a charge to knock it down. And that's all we're trying to do. We want our systems. We want Swing Machine so that we can watch it, and our members can watch it, and actually see the market lift off. And then what we're doing with our systems is coming in and capturing a portion, a small portion of that trajectory. I don't care if the rest of the move goes to Denver. If I hit the missile in Atlanta and I made my bread, then the rest of the move doesn't matter. There'll be more and more and more. Think about it before you start to trade. And if you think with your hand on a mouse, and then you can watch this indicator and that indicator and this indicator and that indicator and yada, 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 and you can execute this one and that one and this one and that one day in and day out, you're nuts. Can't do it, man. So I don't want to tell you what you can't do. What I want to tell you or share with you is a perspective to come to grips with it. Come to grips and learn learn to run systems. You may not have to write the code. Not everyone, is set for that. You may not have to do that. But you need to learn to, even if someone writes the code for you, you need to learn how to run it. Just that alone. And spend 2 days, 3 days with your hand trading, with your hand off the mouse. It's much easier said than done. But how many people on Twitter, how many people on YouTube will even talk to you, about this? They'll say, they'll be over here, and I hate to destroy our little drawings here. Oh, and the candle going to do that, and then, boom, I get in right there. But in the meantime, you could have a day, and the candle does this, and it 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 does this, and then you go to bed between 2 and 4, and it does that, and then it does this, and it does this. That ever happened to you? Oh, you betcha. You betcha. You don't know how many hours. I've watched the market for thousands and thousands of hours, so I know what that is. You want to do that? All the power to you. But we need to know what type of market we have and what the characteristics are of the market so that we can write a multitude of various systems, a multitude. And they will vary. Sometimes a particular software package, trading package will run fantastic when you have this type of market. And not so good on this one. Or you'll have this type of market and a software package will do really well and won't do as well here. The conditions of the market change. And so we have tools to help measure and help you determine what kind of a market we're in. So this Saturday, if you, or this weekend, you're looking around the internet trying to pick up on a narrative and rack your brain about what it's going to do in the next few days, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. I want to show you something. Bear with me. So if you stayed with me for those few minutes, I think it'd probably be the most productive few minutes you could have done Well, then how do I know, Bagger? How do I know if it's a plane, a submarine, or a roller coaster? How do I know? This is how you know. The swing machine. Here's the ES, futures contract. One contract. I'm not playing games. I get a kick out of some of these guys on the internet. He's from, my name is Baraka, or from, and he talks real fast. He's got a name you don't understand. And I just look what I just did. I'm like, oh, get in there. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Okay. Yeah. I just made $4,000. And you look at it, and he's just traded 1,000 shares of Boeing. 1,000 shares of Boeing, which for anyone else would be like 1.3 million or some dang thing. Huge amount of money. And when I ask him about his, his margin, I got 20 to 1. Well, who in the world gives 20 to 1 margin on stocks to somebody with, a relatively small account? And I don't know if this guy's got 20 to 1 or whatever, but he always, talks about, I just made $5,000, but he used $3 million in leverage in the stock market, which the rank and file person is not going to have, and then he reduces his share size. So let me just cut to the chase here. This is the ES futures contract. 1, NQ, RTY, YM, VX. This is a futures margined account that virtually just about anybody could have. Okay, even if you didn't trade maybe all 4 or 5 at the same time. One contract on the 60-minute, 24 hours ago, you'd be up 1,000 off a swing machine. NQ, 2 hours ago, 600. The Russell, 30 hours ago, 1790. The YM just entered. The VIX, 650. This is 1,000, 1,600, 2,600, 3,500, close to a little over $4,000. And this is how we make our decision. Now, I don't need a chart, whether it be a plane or a submarine market or whatever you want to call it. The swing machine is designed to identify the markets that you're in and to get you that piece of the market time and time again. Will we show our members styles of charts? Yes, we definitely do. If they need it. The reality of it is they probably don't need it. Now, am I here to tell you how to think, what to think when it comes to the market? Please don't take it as such. Absolutely not. I'm suggesting that when you're looking at the market, you don't think. How about that? You don't think. It's not rational. It is not. When the market can move billions and billions and billions of dollars on a tweet, is that rational? No. If you want to believe it's rational, all the power to you. I can't help you. But if you've been searching for a news story and you happen to stumble across us, even if it's a week or two later from, I don't care if it's in August or September of next year, feel free to give me a call if this resonates with you. I'm only interested in folks that have come to those decisions because I'm not going to grapple with anybody's mind that thinks that these markets are rational and behaving that way. Once you've come to that decision, that's when we can help you. I'm Bagadon at StockMarketCaddy.com. Feel free to call me anytime, including the weekends, including after hours, because if I'm available, I'm going to answer the phone. And my phone number is 813-758-8263. I think everybody has already reached these decisions, but maybe not, well, I know they haven't. Because, I hear it and see it every day. We've been doing this for 10, 15 years now, more than that. Feel free to give me a call. You can trade these markets, but you have to get yourself out of the way. Because when you're thinking about all the other stuff, you're not trading with the market, you're trading with yourself. And that's not good.